Hello Supra fans, welcome back to my channel. Today I think I thought I would do a quick update on the Supra. Got a few little things that I would like to do on this car and maybe point out to you as well. Just some things that sort of need to be looked at when you own a Mark III, especially one of this age and uh, mileage. There's a little few things that you need to sort of just simple things you can do to keep it running well. That is, I'll show you in the engine bay. I'll just focus on the engine bay today. It won't be much more than that. Just a quick look and some of the little things I like to do on a regular basis. These are the things I've got here. I've got some degreaser, heavy duty degreaser. I've got some brake fluid. Good to have some of that in your shed. And WD-40 multi-purpose penetrant. This stuff works really well. You can use any penetrant. It doesn't have to be this one. It can be any brand. And I'm not supporting or promoting any of these particular brands. I just picked them up because they were within my budget, and they usually supply these at the shop I get my products. Now, just a quick look. It's a 7M GTE, and it's a 3-liter twin cam. It's got 24 valves, 24 valves, intercooled. It's got the intercooler right in there. You can sort of just see it. I'm sure most of you know that if you're Supra fans, but if you don't, it's under there, and there it is there. I could actually point it out to you. You can see it from the top view here. If you don't have this cover, then normally you would have a cover here when the car was brand new, but obviously over the years people have taken that off and forgotten to put it back. That's what usually happens with cars of this age. You take something off, you put it in the shed, in the garage, and you forget to put it back. It becomes spare parts. Before you know it, it's thrown out. Your mom or your dad has thrown out, or maybe your wife has thrown it out. Before you realize, it's gone, never to be found. Now, so you probably could find a new replacement, but usually with these cars of this age, you won't find brand new parts for everything. A lot of things have been discontinued. So I can imagine this bit here has probably been discontinued. That's why they never put it back. The only way to get this back, you have to go to a wrecker and find one. Now, what else? It's got ABS on this particular model. They don't all have that. Some of them have and some of them do not have. So that's one extra item to worry about, is the ABS brakes on this car. And right now it does have a little bit of a problem with the transmission. It's called a transmission speed sensor. And what happens is, pretty much on these engines, when the transmission speed sensor starts to play up, that is important to have that repaired or replaced, because that affects the ABS system. That's something I've actually figured out since I've owned this car, that when that plays up, your ABS system will be affected, because that's what it's for. It's got two speed sensors, one for the wheels, the transmissions, one for the vehicle speed, and the other one is for the transmission speed. So if you have the ABS version, then you have a transmission speed sensor. If you don't have ABS, you only have a vehicle speed sensor. So that's something extra to worry about for me on this car, and I need to replace that. Every now and then it does play up. So yeah, as I was saying, it's a 3-liter. These engines came in 2 versions, actually even 3. I believe there was even there was a diesel. I think that was only available in Japan. As I looked through the books, it looks like there was a diesel engine, and then there's a 2-liter twin turbo, and then there is, that you would find in the 7M, you find that in a 70, sorry,
And you will also find it in the Sora of the same year from the 80s, like 88, 87 Soras, 89 Soras, boxy ones. They came with a 2 liter. These are basically the same chassis as the Sora. And then there is a 3 liter non-turbo, 3 liter non-turbo in this body. And then there's this one which is a single turbo, um, 3 liter 7M GTE. So those are the engines that that I've found out that this body did come with. And then also, there's one more after that. After this year, same engine, same body, same chassis. There's also a 1JZ GTE, and a 1JZ is pretty much the next one after this one. It came out in about 1991 to 92, I believe. Maybe even 1990, actually, maybe 1990. Some of them, I think, started coming out very early, late 1990 to 1992. And what it was a 2.5 liter engine, 1JZ, and that is the predecessor to the 2J. The 2J came in the Mark 4, and that was a 3 liter. That was a 3 liter as well. Twin cam, variable valve, timing, and some of them without variable valve, I believe. This one is a solid twin cam. There's no variable valves in this one. It's just a constant setting. Once you've set it up, that is it. So now, just getting back to this engine bay, it's quite standard. There's not much modifications to this engine at all. What do we have here? It's got a stock airbox, which I love because it allows for really good cooling and filtering all at the same time. And I would suggest you put a K&N high flow air filter in there that fits in a stock airbox. You can still get them. Mine is a K&N air filter, and they still provide a filter that goes in there, and that makes it sound even much better too. Now let's get to the bits and pieces on this vehicle just before I start showing you what I'm going to do with those fluids that I've got lying around. This one actually has different discs. The stock size, stock calipers, everything's stock there. Just the discs are a little bit more fancier. They got they're dimpled and slotted discs, which just gives it a bit of a style, just looks a little bit better and helps with the braking a little bit as well. The rear is stock on this one. Everything else is pretty much stock. The wheels are not too big, they're 17 inches. They're within the legal limits. At the back here we have the bigger Canon exhaust. It's a little bit custom. It's not too heavily modified there either. Once again, it's a 3 liter GT model. This one's a GT model. Some of them say 3.0i. This one says GT because it's a Japanese and it's a limited edition 7 Mark 3. On the other side just says Supra, Toyota Supra, and Tiger top. That roof does come off. It does come off quite painfully. You have to unbolt it, which I don't like doing too much. I wish if it wasn't that way. It should have been quick release. Now let's get back into this engine bay. The piping here, from here to the inlet, this part is aftermarket. I guess, and the blower valve as well as aftermarket. But at the moment I've disabled that, so it's got no blower valve at the moment. What else? Quick view. It's got fog light. Well, these are not really fog lights. These are driving lights or parker lights. Quickly, I will go here. I already given it a spray of degreaser. Now, one thing you want to do with the 7Ms, especially one that's already done at least 200 kilometers 200,000 kilometers. Is a get some degreaser. As you can see, right at the top here, it's a little bit oily on the rocker covers, around the rocker cover seals, and at the front here, where the water pump is, I just quickly spray with some degreaser. Just a quick spray. Every now and then, you should probably do this after a couple of months, because you will have a little bit of weeping around the seals. This just keeps it tidy as well. It gives it a little bit of tidiness. This side as well, just to keep it a little bit tidy. Rocker gasket. Just there we go. Just give it a bit of a spray. Just give the spray from the top to the bottom. Right back here you can see the rocker cover is greasy. You can either wipe it off with a rag if you can, if you want to make it easier, or you can hose it down. Make sure you have the engine running when you do that, because you don't want to actually just be careful with what you're doing. Don't overspray it. Even when you're rinsing it down, do not overspray the engine with water, because you will get water in the water in the spark plug wells, and then you're in trouble. Then you gotta, there's a leads there. The spark plug is quite deep. You gotta then remove the spark plugs, otherwise it will start to misfire. The other one is brake fluid. Old engine, once again, you want to keep an eye on this fluid level. There is a warning light coming on inside on the dash, which pretty much is warning me that I'm probably getting a little bit low on the fluid. I can see it's on the minimum right now. So I got one hand here trying to open this. Hope I don't spill it. Be very careful when you do this. Don't get it on all over the place. So I'm just going to top that up. Don't overdo it, don't overfill it, because if you drive the car aggressively and doing aggressive braking maneuvers, you will overheat the brakes and the fluid will boil, and it will want to escape. Obviously there's a relief valve in here somewhere. It will spill out and you will start getting it messy. So that's the other thing. Once again, once you've done that, get that degreaser again, spray it around, just on top, around that master cylinder. That's good to do that, because any spilled oils, it will keep that clean. Look how clean that is. It will keep that thing looking all nice and clean as well. You gotta degrease it, then you just gotta rinse it off with a hose. WD-40 or any penetrant or any even oil, engine oil, anything that will allow to leave a shiny finish. What I do is I just spray all these rubber hoses with this particular brand. I love this brand, it's my favorite one. I spray it all over them, all on the pipe work, even on the plastics like this. You spray it around. I will probably do that in a bit. I'll just leave that there for now. Sorry guys, I got hungry. I had to come in and have my lunch. Gotta have a break, man. Whew. This is why I haven't been filming, because I've been getting distracted. Hunger has actually got me now, so I'm just way too hungry. Too hungry to complete that video. Sorry guys. This could be the end of that video. Oh man, that looks good. Wow. Bon appetit. Man, that is nice. I'm shooting this video between oh wow. Wow. Sorry guys. I had to do that. I had to stop. I just got so hungry, and I thought, well, probably time to have a break. Woo! I cooked this the other day. Mm. Mm. Wow. You thought this was going to be a car video, just a car video, right? Now it's become a food video. Surprise. Mm, 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 mm. This is beans, potatoes, and carrots. My favorite. And a bit of chicken. Mm. Mm. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the video. Let's get back. Mm. Bit of spice in there too. Let's get back to the car. All right, let's go. All right, yes. We continue. Let's continue where we left off. So I've left that. The reason I went and actually had food is that I sprayed this down with degreaser. What you want to do when you're using degreaser, you want to let it sit for a few minutes. Don't just spray it and wash it off right away. Don't just rinse it right away. You gotta let it sit into the oil and let it break the oil down. And then after maybe 5 minutes, if the engine is, and don't do this when the engine is very hot. Do this when the engine is just a little bit warm so that you can still touch it. Or even when it's cold. You can do when it's cold, but you gotta let the oil, the degreaser do its work. You gotta let it sit longer, even in half an hour. Let it sit, keep soaking it. If it's very, very heavy oil. So as you can see, it is oil down there, very oily. Not very, but you know what I mean. Like it's an old car, so it sweats. I just call that sweating. Like it's sweating. It's sweating oil. Over time, you gotta do this. Spray it, and then what I would do is, I'll just get a hose with the nozzle like that at the end. It's quite simple. Turn the hose on, get a bit of pressure happening. It's really helpful if you've got one of these type of things. So I got that happening. Whew. What I'm gonna do is I might actually spray it one more time, just to let it happen, let it work again. But oh my goodness, my spray is hopeless. Look what's happening to my. It's just, I'm getting it all on my hands. I'm just wasting it. Whatever you do, guys, don't buy this can. This is a second can that I've actually just wasted 50% of. That one is very cheap. I've got most of it on my hands. Okay, another item. Make sure you get a good quality can of degreaser, because you will get it all over your hands and then you regret it. And there's no point in wasting. All right, there you go. Now here we go. Just a quick spray. Get it on the body as well. Just spray it on the body. Notice how I'm spraying it as well. I'm not spraying it directly on the engine, especially not on the top. I want to spray around the sides, and then if the top, I might just wipe it with a rag. I might quickly just give it a quick spray. Like on the brakes, it's okay. You want to get it there. I will splash it over the top a little bit, but not too much. Just be very careful how you do it. Otherwise, it will start misfiring, and then you're gonna have to start opening things. So it could happen to me too right now. I may have already caused some issues, but I'm gonna assume it's okay. So yeah, that's what you gotta do really, to look after your 7M or any vehicle, really, any Toyota, any car of this age. You gotta just do that to keep it looking decent. It's an old car. Don't be too afraid of it. So I'm spraying it down there as well, giving a good rinse. All right, so I think that's enough. What I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna start the engine. quickly show it to you. So now what it looks like. It looks like $1 million, you know. It doesn't look bad now. Doesn't look bad now, does it? Look at that. Look how clean that looks. It takes off for even the dust as well. It's good to rinse the engine bay just every now and then just to get the dust off. Look at that down there. You can actually see the metal, you know, parts now. They're a bit more shiny. It's removed all that sweating, that oil sweat, as I tend to call it. The car just sweats a bit there. I probably should have gone a bit more there. It's a bit oily, but no big deal. This side, probably should spray it a little bit more this side. It's looking a bit, or maybe I'll just get it with the rag. Okay guys, that's enough of that. Here's my rag, that's what it was for. Here's my rag, my trusty rag. Let's just do that now. The parts that you cannot reach easily, sometimes it's just better just to get that rag and give it a hand polish. Just give it a polish like that. Now, and this way, when your friend or enthusiast guys on the street say, "Oh, pop your bonnet," open your bonnet, let's look underneath. They're not gonna be shocked to see a super greasy engine. It will look a little bit more impressive as well in those moments, and not so embarrassing. Now, here we go. Give the battery a bit of a wipe as well. Just help dry it out. Here we are. Now, what's the other thing? Okay, here we are. Now, this is your WD-40. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to dry this hose here. See how good it looks when it's wet? That's just water. So imagine if you put a little bit of this. Be careful now. Just wipe it all along there. It will make it look wet all the time. It will make it look a little bit less dry. Airbox. You could probably spray that as well if you want. Ooh. Give that a bit of a wipe as well. Don't let it sit there because it will just accumulate dust. You want to dry it as well when you spray the WD-40 on these things. Look at that. It's looking a little bit nicer already. Give that strut bar. That's not a stock part. This is a aftermarket piece. I think it's supposed to be like a HKS style brace, which were, I think, very common in the 90s and early 2000s as a modification for most of these Supras. I don't know if the same strut bar fits on the Mark IV. It's possible. I would think that they're very similar in dimensions, especially when it comes to engine bay. Anyway, guys, that is all I can show you today. I think that's enough for today. So this video's dragged on too long. Join me again. See you next time. Remember to click like and subscribe because it does really help me a lot, so I can pump out more videos as well. That'll be quite helpful, guys. So see you later.